Hello everybody. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? So, when it's beautiful out there, why not walk? And why not make a video to talk to you guys? Right now, we are in Istanbul, in a street called Bagdat, which is one of the most popular parts of the city. The interesting thing about Istanbul is that the city has two sides. One side is in Europe and the other side is in Asia. So they call it the Asian part and the European part. And I live in the European part, which is the old part. But right now we are in the Asian part, and as I said, this is one of the most famous streets in the Asian part. Alright. I never like people like using scooters or bicycles in the sidewalk. But I mean, I get that there's not much place for them to ride their thing. Like on this street, it's really dangerous. But again, sidewalk is for walking. And by riding in the sidewalk, they're kind of avoiding the danger on the street, but they are kind of putting the pedestrians in danger. It's now around 5 o'clock, and as you can see, most of these stores are open right now, but they're allowed to operate only until 8 o'clock, and by 9 there's a lockdown, so everybody has to go back home by that time. The stores are open, but like the restaurants or coffee shops, they only provide services for takeout, so you cannot actually go sit in a restaurant or anything. And other places such as movie theaters, or I'm guessing gyms, are closed. I don't follow the news a lot here in Turkey, mostly because I don't speak the language. It's kind of hard to keep on with the news, but the information that I have regarding the lockdowns or the restrictions, I get them generally through word of mouth. And this information are kind of hard to miss. But the details, such as the statistics of people infected, are mostly foreign to me. So I really don't know that if the country now is in a good situation or not. I hope it is. At least I hope that the number of daily deaths are reducing, because we don't want that for anyone. I've heard that in Turkey they've already vaccinated around 5 million people, but again, I've heard that and I'm not sure. I was reading this article today and was a New Yorker. It was saying that, was discussing the fact that in many countries, in like poorer countries, although the number of infections were high, the number of deaths because of the virus were comparatively low. And they were looking for a reason. So why people in poor places were access to mask or hand sanitizers or other preventive measures are harder, are getting infected, but they are not dying, and they were like actually trying to find the secret. And interestingly, based on the article, it could have something to do with the immune system of people in those poorer areas of the world. And the article kind of suggested that although the virus, the COVID-19 virus, was not there before, other viruses that were kind of similar to that, or were in the same, from the same family, were somehow introduced to the population from before. So the immune system of individuals were to some extent ready, and when they got the virus, their immune system had some experience fighting it. So although they got infected, the infection was not that drastic to cause death. And it's kind of interesting. I mean, whatever the reason, I hope at least with the vaccines, first of all, the number of deaths, daily deaths, they come down and get to zero at some point. And after that, of course, life gets back to normal, and we can get rid of these masks. Right now I'm wearing 2 masks and it's really hard to breathe, and because I'm wearing glasses, my glasses steam up, so I have several problems. Here's me. Hi. Hello. Okay, I have to pass the street here. Sitter. What is this? Here's a Starbucks. If I was not recording this video, probably I would have gotten myself a cup of coffee. And here's the line. People are socially distancing. I always prefer coffee to tea, especially my own specific coffee. I always drink mocha with a little bit of peppermint syrup in it. And although I prefer coffee to tea during day, like throughout day, mostly I'm drinking tea. And that's partially because tea is generally easier to make, so I just pour the water in the cup, and I put in a tea bag, and that's it. But for coffee, the process is a little bit harder, and I get a little bit lazy. So I end up with a cup of tea in my hand. It is fairly crowded for a time in the middle of the pandemic. And this is Kahve Dünyası, and it is their own Starbucks, like this, their own. It's Turkey's main brand of fast coffee. I've tried a couple of times. They're okay. They're good. They're not as good as Starbucks. And mostly the problem is that the quality of the drink that I get from one store to another differs a lot. Or even from one store from one time to another. but the service is good, and the people working there have always been professional. But at the end of the day, you always go with the best coffee. I remember I was walking in the same street. There are two cats here. Okay. I remember I was walking down the street around 1.5, or it was 2 years ago, I don't know. And I had a bag of chips with me, and I wanted to eat that, but my hands were too dirty, and there were no place here for me to wash my hands. So I was looking for a drugstore or a pharmacy to buy some hand sanitizers. And those places were kind of hard to find because I remember it was a Sunday, and on Sundays throughout the city, some of the pharmacies and drugstores are open and some of them are closed. So that's a rolling thing. So each weekend actually, it's time for one of them or a couple of them to be open, and the rest are closed. So finally I found this place. It was open, and I went there, and I couldn't explain myself probably clearly enough, and they didn't know what I'm looking for. And either they didn't have any hand sanitizer or they didn't understand what I'm saying. So I went to another one, I found another one, and same story. Later I understood that they don't really have hand sanitizers here, and they have some other things like they call colonia, and it's scented liquid they put on their hands. But the scent is too strong for me, so I wouldn't use that. I just wanted, a plain alcohol as hand sanitizer, and that was not offered because there was no demand for it back then. I remember finally I got it from a Bath and Body Works. I'm sorry. I didn't know what that guy wanted, but since there's no means of communication, I guess just saying sorry and continue walking is the best thing to do. So yeah, that problem doesn't exist anymore. So in every type of store you go, especially if it's a drugstore, pharmacy, you can find tons of different types of hand sanitizers, different brands, different colors, different scents. And I'm guessing given after the pandemic, there's gonna be a supply for that. I mean, the hand sanitizers staying as a part of the culture. We have to be careful here. The cars really don't wait for the pedestrians, even on the pedestrian walk. Alright guys, so I'm going to call it a walk and probably go and get myself a coffee. I'm not gonna go back that way, but probably if I continue down this road I can find something. Well, look at this, it's so crowded. God. Alright, let me know if you had any thoughts, anything to say, and yeah, in the comment section let's make it a contribution. Oh, but let's make it a conversation. Let's make it a contribution. Yeah, let's make it a conversation. It was fun talking to you guys. It was fun recording this video, and I want to go. Take care.